We are beginning a series of devotional reflections on the Psalms. We have done this before. They are so rich. There's so much there. They're so helpful and transformational. John Calvin aptly talked about the Psalms as being an anatomy of the parts of our soul. He wrote specifically, "I've been accustomed to call this book, I think not inappropriately, an anatomy of the soul, for there is not an emotion of which anyone can be conscious that is not here represented as in a mirror." So powerful stuff, very helpful for us. Let me just remind you, the Psalms, big collection of mostly prayers found in the middle of the Bible. There are 150 of them. They are part of what we call wisdom literature. The Old Testament breaks out into three big sections. You've got the law, the prophets, and wisdom literature. Wisdom literature refers to Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Job, Song of Solomon. Most of the Psalms are prayers, and they are prayers of all different types. They're prayers of praise, thanksgiving, lament. It's what we call imprecatory psalms, where the psalmist is very angry at God, frustrated with life. There are messianic psalms. There are psalms of confession. And then there's also psalms that are not prayers. They're meditations. So they're not words that we say back to God, which is sort of what we say the psalms are. God gives us the words to say back to him. But some of the Psalms are not prayers, they're meditations. And quite notably, the Psalms open with a meditation, Psalm 1, on meditation. So in the next few weeks, we're gonna be looking at a number of Psalms. We're gonna start today with Psalm 11, which is a short reflection by David in a time of crisis. We're not exactly certain what the crisis is. David, of course, weathered many crises, but it is helpful to see how he thinks about it, how he frames it, how he prays, how he talks to himself, because that obviously allows us to think about that in terms of the context of our own challenges that we're facing. So, look, the big refrain here that I really latched onto again when I went back to this is, when the foundations are crumbling, what can the righteous do? Let me read this. "In the Lord I take refuge. How then can you say to me, flee like a bird to your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their arrows. They set their arrows against the strings to shoot from the shadows at the upright in heart. When the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth. His eyes examine them. The Lord examines the righteous, but the wicked, those who love violence, he hates with a passion. On the wicked he will rain fiery coals and burning sulfur. A scorching wind will be their lot. For the Lord is righteous. He loves justice. The upright will see his face." So much there for us to unpack in the rest of the week. We will do that. I will leave you with that refrain, that big question. When the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? What can you do? This is a moment of lots of tumult. I just was working on a book on the news, and I note that lots of people, smart people, David Petraeus, former head of the CIA, Robert Gates, former head of the FBI, I think I've got that right, Walter Russell Mead, foreign policy analyst, all saying this is the most unstable the world has been since World War II. When the foundations are crumbling, what can the righteous do? That's the question. We'll come back to it tomorrow. Have a good day.